everyone over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world, because I am. We are here for this penultimate round of our first season of our F1 2019 career, guys. It is now clutch time. If you haven't watched the previous episode, please go down below and go check out the previous episode. It's got to be the previous one underneath this one, because we had a confidence booster coming out of USA that we really badly needed. You guys know Mexico and Japan really didn't go good for us, and America just gave us the boost we needed for these final 2 rounds. Heading to the performance chart, guys, we are quickly looking at Mercedes, who are still the top car to beat. Ferrari bounced back into second, but are only a pixel difference from Red Bull in third. We are plateauing in 4th position. Racing Point are in 5th position. Alfa Romeo Racing 6th. Williams Racing 7th. 8th is Renault. 9th McLaren. And rounding off the back of the grid is Scuderia Toro Rosso, but who are quickly catching up to the rest of the midfield. Now, guys, heading into the Brazilian Grand Prix at Sao Paulo, Interlagos. Yeah, a track that's very close to my heart. A track on F1 2018 where I really struggled. The AI were quite OP on last year's game. The AI are much balanced, much more balanced this year on the game. And as you guys see, I have a big moment going into Sector 2. Just lost the car a little bit on the curbing, couldn't catch it, and I just put the car on the wall. Luckily not too hard. This second one was quite a fair bit worse. Ahead of me is Sergio Perez. As I come through the double right-hander, the car just kicks on me. I have got no control, and I hit Perez right on the side pod. That was a little bit violent, to say the least. Guys, please go down below and drop a like. It's only going to take you 2 seconds. Excuse that extremely bad phrase from my side. But guys, let's head straight into the Brazilian Grand Prix qualifying, and let's see if we can pull another rabbit out of the hat this weekend at Interlagos. Let's head to qualifying.
Welcome to qualifying here in Interlagos as the cars are readying up for what's likely to be a very important session. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
Jumping straight into qualifying, guys, as we head here to the end of our first lap here in Q1. Guys, I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting. We had to go for 2 runs in Q1. Reason being, this first lap of mine, I didn't really understand. I don't understand why, but the grip levels in Quali 1 was so bad in comparison to the practice sessions. I just didn't expect the car to have this little grip. So my first lap, I just overcooked it on way too many corners, so I had to go out for a second lap and drive a little bit more subtle. Coming to the end of our second and final lap here in Q2, you guys see we're going to go across the line, and we are going to finish with a 1 minute 8.008. Actually, that is not where I want to be. Guys, look at the 2 Red Bulls, 1st and 4th, and yeah. We need to try and match those 2 cars this weekend. I don't think we have the 1 lap pace to match them, but I really do think in the race we will be able to match them if I get my strategy spot on. Even though on the performance chart there's a reasonable gap between us and Red Bull, and also basically Ferrari, the car within a long distance of the race, the car really, it can hang with Red Bull for most of the race. Not the whole race, but most of the race. Guys, quickly, go follow me on all my social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You know you have to do it.
So far is a 1:8.5.
Thank you very much, engineer. It's 4:10, half a second off of our first quali lap, but in any case, that was on a scrubbed set of tires. Guys, the wear here around Interlagos is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. The tires weigh substantially less than I honestly thought. I thought Interlagos was going to be a tire munching machine, and actually you can actually use one set of tires for 2 laps consecutively and actually not have to worry too much about the tires wearing too much. Your second lap can still be competitive, especially if your first lap was not the best. So if you really drive smartly, you can get 2 laps out of one set of soft tires. But guys, heading to the end of our final lap in Q2, we crossed the line with a significant improvement to our time, and we go 8th place with a 1 minute 8.020, matching our quali 1 time. But still, I want to be in the 1 minute 7s. Hopefully the track grip goes up for Q3. You guys can see my teammate actually made it into Q3 with me the first time in a while, so I'm really grateful for that. We need Roman fighting in the top 10 for the points, otherwise Haas. Yeah, guys, we already can't catch Red Bull, but still I want Roman to be supportive of me. If he doesn't move seats next season, I need a teammate that can support me when we try and go for the championship next season. Also, one thing I'm worried about is maybe with the regulation change that we are not going to be able to have a car to compete in Season 2, almost in Season 4, but we'll see what happens, guys. We crossed the line for our first lap. Once again, it's a 1 minute 8.5. So once again, it's a 1 minute 8.5.
1 minute 8.5.
Thank you, Jeff. I literally just said that. But in any case, so we still really have to push to get this car into the 1 minute 7s. To take off half a second is quite a big ask. But
Engine fired. We're set.
guys, we have to try and get this car basically behind the 3 leading teams, which is Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. I know Ferrari they turn up their engines to frickin' 11 when it gets to Q3, as well as Mercedes. Red Bull at this stage really don't do that as effectively as Mercedes and Ferrari, but still it is Season 1, so that's understandable. But I expect quite more from the Red Bulls. But in any case, guys, let's go for a lap here around the Interlagos circuit as we go into Sector 2, guys. A very fast left-hander going up the hill into the double right-hander. A very tricky corner to get wrong. You guys saw in practice I got it wrong immensely and took out Sergio Perez in practice 1. Down to first gear. Well, for me, second gear, I got the car turned in exactly at the right time for this very tight and twisty middle sector, guys. Heading to the second hairpin, into the third one. Once again, a very hard braking zone. Here you go down to first gear to get the car to turn in. Manage the oversteer because the car really easily spins out of that corner. Downhill for this left-hander and into the final 90-degree left-hander as we get onto the flat-out constant left-handed bend that is the main straight here at Interlagos. 7th gear down, bump the car down to overtake mode. Open up DRS as we enter the line. It's more than a half-second improvement at this stage, and we are going to end up in P.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Hamilton, Bottas and Sebastian Vettel. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Yes! Yes, yes, guys, P7, best of the rest. We can now take the fight to Red Bull. We need to get our strategy spot on. And yeah, guys, let's go enjoy this Brazilian Grand Prix. This is gonna be a banger.
Where there's a will, well, there's a way. And nowhere has that fact been better demonstrated over the years than here at Interlagos. Remember Senna winning while fighting a gearbox that was jammed in 6th? 5 Drivers' Championship deciders in a row between 2005 and 2009. And of course, the passionate Brazilian fans packing the grandstands to capacity every year. And they're not about to stop now. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the 2 DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. With so much on the line here today, I can't help but shake the feeling that we're going to have a bit of pushing and shoving, Anthony Davidson, especially into turn 1 this afternoon.
Well, we do see a fair amount of that here at Interlagos, Crofty. It's a tricky braking zone, of course, as you're heading downhill into the centre S, which always makes it easy to lock the inside front and run a bit wide. We've seen a number of occasions over the years with someone from the leading group taking a bit of a knock on the first lap and having to recover. That's one of the reasons we've had so many exciting championship fights here. Hopefully, though, it'll be a clean start, of course, but as you say, I wouldn't be too surprised if it's not.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, O'Connor, Max Verstappen and Kubica, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Weber, they've taken a grid penalty, and George Russell, Norris, Perez, Alexander Albon and Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Charles Leclerc and Kimi Raikkonen. Kvyat and Devon Butler starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
Thank you, Jeff. I do not think we are going to have space heading into the first corner here at Interlagos, but we'll see what happens. Guys, I'm going to try a very sneaky one-stop on the two softest compounds. This can very, very easily go wrong, but I'm going to try and set it through because, guys, that's the only way I'm going to compete with the Red Bulls. So it's a gamble, but let's see if the gamble kicks us in the face or if it actually gives us something on a silver platter. Enjoy the formation lap. Jam with me. For the penultimate round of our first season of F1 2019, P4 on the grid thanks to penalties. We now have to kick Red Bull in the teeth. 5 red lights and it's go, go, go for the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Interlagos. Bottas, Hamilton and Vettel get a fantastic start off of the line. We go into the first quarter of the center. It's just 3 wide Mercedes versus Vettel basically. Vettel gets squeezed out. He's on the inside. He's alongside Valtteri Bottas, but both the Mercedes give Vettel a squeeze. I think there was slight contact between Vettel and Bottas. And for the second race in a row, we are with the front runners as we start the race. Heading into the fourth quarter, it is still myself and P4 right behind Vettel and Bottas, who are running side by side as we head into the second sector. I think Bottas has got the drive out of the fourth and fifth corner. Vettel still sticks his nose in there with that Ferrari, but Valtteri goes around the outside. Guys, remember, Valtteri and Vettel are the two championship rivals, so they are going to fight bare-fisted, and this race is going to end bloody if it keeps going like this. Guys, this is Pierre Gasly's POV from his start, guys. Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc are coming from way back on the grid thanks to penalties. So I have to finish ahead of at least Pierre Gasly. Max Verstappen is going to be a tall task, but I think we can still do it. But we have to finish at least ahead of Pierre Gasly. If we can't finish ahead of Max Verstappen, the Red Bulls always run strong here around Interlagos. So I really have to be ready for a big fight coming from these two Aston Martin and Honda sponsored cars. Guys, jumping back to the POV of Charles Leclerc, you can see it was a little bit of a subtle start for Leclerc, unlike Gasly, who was fighting his way throughout that first section, that first sector of the track. You guys can see I go to block off Max Verstappen immediately. He goes to my inside, but he has a really awkward run to go into the second part of the center S's. And as we go through the third part, I get the run on Max, and now he's under pressure from one of the Renaults. I think it might be Daniel Ricciardo. I'm not sure if it's Kevin Magnussen, but it actually is Daniel Ricciardo. I see the number 3 on the car. But in any case, guys, there was nothing that Max could do about it. So now I'm just trying to stick with Vettel and Valtteri to try and steal the slipstream from their cars as we head down that very long bend onto the main straight of this Interlagos circuit in Brazil. Guys, you guys can see I close up very close to Sebastian Vettel as we head into the very tight part of sector 2, the hairpin section. And as you guys see, I struggle to keep with Vettel. I struggle to get the grip down. That Ferrari's just got such a good chassis at this stage of the season. And I mean, I think Ferrari and Red Bull are better in chassis and in aero than Mercedes at this stage. Mercedes just have a massive power advantage, but we'll see. I think if I was Vettel, I was going to throw the kitchen sink at it and just go guns blazing till the very last lap. After the previous race where I did screw over Ferrari a bit in the beginning of the race, but they also screwed themselves over by battling the entire Grand Prix. Vettel needs to finish ahead of Bottas. Otherwise, going into the final round in Abu Dhabi, Vettel is going to be very, very badly on the back foot. But as you guys see, I am under pressure from Max Verstappen, and he is right up my gearbox. I really need to be careful as we head into the fourth corner for the second time only. It's onto the brakes, and we are just ahead of Max Verstappen. We give him a little bit of a squeeze, and we keep the position. It's a very sweet move indeed. We jump back now on lap 1 to the POV of Charles Leclerc. Guys, remember this Ferrari is a rocket in a straight line. Charles Leclerc is right behind. I can't see that. That looks like my teammate. Yes, it is my teammate, the second half of Romain Grosjean. He goes for the dive up the inside. Also going actually for the Toro Rosso. I think it's Alexander Albon. I don't think it's Danny Kvyat there, but I can't actually make that out. And now we're also jumping onto the POV of Pierre Gasly, who is right behind the Williams, I think, of Robert Kubica. Let's just check the number. It is 63. That is actually George Russell, not Robert Kubica. In any case, Pierre Gasly goes around the outside, and also Charles makes a move on my teammate. Now guys, heading to the end of lap 2, this is Valtteri Bottas right behind his teammate Lewis Hamilton. They are very closely monitored by the dark horse Sebastian Vettel and P3 as we head now onto the straight for this little, basically it's a little straight if you think about it without the corners. But in any case, Valtteri goes for a dive up the inside of Lewis Hamilton. This is for P1 in the Grand Prix. He's on the outside for the second part of the Senna, but Valtteri takes the lead away from Lewis Hamilton. Guys, Lewis Hamilton has started on the medium tires. He's going for a one-stop from mediums to hards, I think. And I think definitely Valtteri is going from the softs to the hards to go for a one-stop. But as you guys see there, Lewis gets a beautiful move back on his teammate to get himself back into P1. The longer those guys fight, the closer I can stay with them, and the better I am off with Max Verstappen right behind me. As you guys see, we jump back to the POV of Pierre Gasly, who is in a fight with 4 other cars. It is absolutely excellent. There's a McLaren, a Renault, a Williams, a Red Bull, and a Racing Point in that fight. It's absolutely excellent. Pierre Gasly goes up the inside of, is that Sergio Perez or Lucas Weber? I actually couldn't see there, but it's one of the 2 Racing Point cars. Going through the first hairpin on the outside for the second hairpin as they are right behind the Williams of George Russell, and the Red Bull just has the better chassis and the better aero and can put the power down earlier than the Racing Point. Guys, heading on to the end of the second lap, this is Charles Leclerc right behind the baby Ferrari team Alfa Romeo, and I think he's actually behind Antonio Giovinazzi. No, that looked like Raikkonen's helmet. He goes for the move on Robert Kubica as well. On the inside, is it going to be a double move from Charles Leclerc? He gets squeezed on the outside. He bounces the car over the curb. It's a very violent squeeze from the Alfa and the Williams as the Alfa goes past the Williams as well. But now Charles Leclerc has got the speed advantage. He's down the straight. I think it is actually Antonio Giovinazzi. Yes, it is Giovinazzi. He's around the outside of Giovinazzi. Will Charles make the double move stick? Yes, he does. Beautiful move from Charles Leclerc. We jump back now onto the POV of Max Verstappen, guys, who is chasing me as if there is no tomorrow. He has gone up right alongside me, heading into T4. It's very close between us. Max is going to give me the squeeze. I run out onto the green AstroTurf for a split second there, heading up the hill. We've just got the driver on him. We've got the better engine. On the inside, we have to give him a bit of a squeeze, but he's not budging. Oh, that's a big moment, running him out onto the curb. But Max still keeps his front wing in there. But finally, heading into the second hairpin of the second sector. I finally get the move done on Max Verstappen. Oh my soul, he really pressured me there, and now he's under pressure from the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo is going against the man who basically shoved him out of Red Bull, going against his older team. I'm sure Christian Horner is not liking that one little bit. Guys, heading into the final corner now, we are back with Charles Leclerc, who is now right behind another Racing Point car. So, yeah, guys, I'm just not going to try and mention the drivers because I'm just going to get it wrong the whole time. We'll just see what happens now. DRS has been activated, and now Charles Leclerc is trying to close in on the rest of this grid. And guys, oh, there's Pierre Gasly on his inside. Where did Gasly come from? Oh my word! Guys, Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly are really quickly making their way through this field. They are not playing around at all. It is side by side for the Ferrari and the Red Bull. But guys, look at the power of the Ferrari. There is nothing that Pierre Gasly can do about that. He is still getting his notes in there on the inside. And also the Racing Point is going for the move on the Williams ahead. But Charles gets the move done on Pierre Gasly. And now Charles is really quickly starting to chase after this leading group. Guys, Charles Leclerc is on one hell of a mission. So let's see what happens. As you guys see, the two Mercedes have broken slightly away from Sebastian Vettel. But I think Vettel is just saving his tires, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. And as you guys see, Valtteri takes the lead from his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Those two Mercedes are doing exactly what Ferrari did the previous Grand Prix, fighting non-stop. I think Hamilton is just too stubborn to give Valtteri the win, but Valtteri needs the win for his championship sakes. So it's a Mercedes war inside that garage, and we'll see. It's also a Mercedes war out on track. So, yeah, James, you're gonna have to support Valtteri this time, eh? In any case, guys, back to the battle with Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly as they make their ascension through the field. Gasly just gets held up by the Alpha going for a move on the Williams. Gasly is really struggling at this part of the Grand Prix where Charles Leclerc is just oozing through the traffic. Charles Leclerc is right behind the Racing Point that we talked about just about 2 minutes ago. DRS open, there is nothing that the Racing Point driver can do about that, and Charles Leclerc will make an easy pass even before we get to the first corner. And now he's got his sights set on Kevin Magnussen, and I think it's actually Devin Butler in the McLaren ahead of him. Now you guys see we're back onto the POV of Max Verstappen, who is right behind me. He opens up that massive rear wing of the Red Bull, trying to get a move done on us. He is along the outside. Wow, that's a little bit of shoving going on between me and Max Verstappen. Heading into T1, I go for a major dive up the inside. A small bit of contact. Guys, I am racing for everything I'm worth. I know that I have to finish ahead of this Red Bull. Otherwise, it's really going to be a very tough final race in Abu Dhabi, because guys, me and Max are so close for points, it's not even funny. Now heading back onto the POV of Charles Leclerc, he is right behind the Renault of Kevin Magnussen. Opens up DRS, he pulls onto the inside of the track. Will he be able to get the move done on K-Mag? He's on the inside. The Racing Point of Sergio Perez is lurking right behind him, but he gets the move done on K-Mag and is now going after this beautiful papaya orange and blue McLaren. Is it Devin Butler or Lando Norris? I am not actually sure, but we'll see in a second, guys. DRS open, he's going to pull to the outside because the McLaren defends the inside. Guys, remember, this is for position, so the IR are going to fight Leclerc with all they've got. Guys, it is actually Lando Norris, and around the outside, Charles Leclerc is liking that move today. He gets his car up another position. Once again, back to the lead battle. Guys, it's overtaking chaos here at Interlagos. And guys, one thing you guys are going to ask me is, where has Sebastian Vettel gone from this lead fight? Guys, over my radio, I heard that Vettel had a massive problem with his car, mechanical problem, so he dropped away from the two Mercedes and was now slowly but surely falling into my and Max Verstappen's clutches. In any case, guys, back to Charles Leclerc. He is the first car to dive it into the pit lane, guys. I think Charles is going for one massive undercut. I think Charles is going to commit to the two stop. Let's see what he puts onto his car. Yes, it's brand new Redwall soft tires. So Charles has committed to the two stop, and he is going very, very aggressive. Guys, heading on to lap 10, Valtteri Bottas dives it into the pit lane. So Mercedes are actually prioritizing the championship leader. Is he? Yeah, he is the championship leader. Am I not right? Oh, well, in any case, they're prioritizing the Mercedes that is in the championship fight. Valtteri goes onto a set of white-walled hard tires. This is Sebastian Vettel going onto a set of also hard-walled, well, white-walled hard tires, hard-walled. Turbo, you complete nincompoop. There's also Max Verstappen going onto a set of hard tires. Guys, remember, I'm going to stay out as long as I possibly can to try and keep those soft tires working and try and keep keep them out there so I can go onto the mediums to finish this Grand Prix, because then I will have the pace over Max Verstappen on those hard tires. The mediums and the hards are a world of difference on this game, and at a track like Interlagos with a middle sector that is such, well, that asks so much, especially of the rear tires, I'm going to have the superior grip compared to Max if I want to stay ahead of him. Guys, this is the race leader, Lewis Hamilton, diving it into the pit lane, going onto his set of white-walled hard tires, going to the end of this Grand Prix now. You guys can also see I go as long as Lewis Hamilton did on a harder compound of tire on my soft tires. Now we have to hope and pray that we exit the pit lane ahead of Max Verstappen and hope that he got caught up in traffic. You guys see I strap on the yellow-walled medium tires, and it is now a race till the end. We need to make sure that we let these tires last to the end, otherwise we've got a big problem. Jumping onto the POV of Max Verstappen, guys, it's a very, very close fight. He goes into the first part of the center. I can't see myself. We go onto my POV really quickly. This is Charles Leclerc, who has jumped me in the pit stop phases right behind a Williams car, but guys, I safely come out ahead of Max Verstappen, and now we have to put pedal to the metal to make sure, while these mediums have the superior grip, that we use it to try and get a gap on Max Verstappen. So at this stage, our strategy is working a treat. In any case, guys, going to the top 10, Lewis Hamilton is leading the way from Valtteri Bottas in second, Sebastian Vettel in third, whose problem has been fixed and is trying to chase down those leading two Mercs once again. Charles Leclerc has fought himself all the way up into P4, hashtag driver of the day. Fifth place at this stage, it is George Russell in the Williams. Sixth place, myself. George Russell has not gone for a pit stop yet. So that is sixth place. Seventh place is Max Verstappen. Eighth place is the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo at this stage. Ninth place, it is Sergio Perez in the pink and blue Racing Point. And rounding out the top 10, it is Pierre Gasly busy having a fight with Antonio Giovinazzi. As we head into T4, will Pierre Gasly be the new P10 driver? I think he might be. He goes around the outside just like Charles Leclerc has been doing this entire weekend, well, this entire race. And that is a move from Pierre Gasly to secure P10. He's finally into the points. As you guys see, we head on to the end of that lap of me exiting the pit lane, and now it is time for me to get past this Williams car and make sure that I get ahead of, well, away from the Red Bull of Max Verstappen, because this Williams is just holding me up. DRS is open, overtake on the ERS, running up the hill. We've got to pull to the outside to have the run into the second center S, light onto the brakes around the outside. It's a very big squeeze from the Williams, but in any case, we get the move done. But now we are on the back foot, heading through the third part of the Senna S. Now the Williams is going to have DRS. Oh my word, don't do this to me, Russell. Don't do this. Don't. I'm telling you, don't. Ah, that is close! Ooh, okay, I make the move, stick around the outside. Yeebie-jeebies. No, man, come on. Now, please hold up Max Verstappen so I can get away. Thank you very much. Guys, we're back to the leading battle of the two Mercedes drivers, Valtteri Bottas v Lewis Hamilton. This is an excellent fight to see who's going to win this Brazilian Grand Prix. The longer these two fight, the more chance they give Sebastian Vettel to catch up. But Valtteri makes an easy move up into P1. A few laps later, Lewis says, oh, no, my friend. No. I've got fresher tires. It is now time for you to fall in behind me. And Lewis goes for the move on the inside. I'm sure that the team radio told Lewis it's hammer time. On the inside for the first part, on the outside for the second part. Valtteri tries to give Lewis the squeeze, but Lewis just has the drive coming through the middle parts of the Senna S. But now Valtteri's got DRS heading down the second straight. He is going to the outside. Lewis is on the inside. Lewis has got the fresher tires about by 2 laps. But let's see, Valtteri's around the outside. He gets the drive. He gets the grip. They are side by side heading up the hill into the double right-hander. Turn 6 and 7, and it's Valtteri on the inside. That's very close. They almost did the same that me and Max did earlier in the race, but Lewis just says no way, Jose, and he goes around the outside, keeping P1. Oh my word, guys, those two Mercedes cars are fighting something incredible. And guys, this is Charles Leclerc coming in for his second pit stop. Guys, now it is crunch time. We can secure a P4 here at Interlagos if we play our cards right. Charles Leclerc is going to be on brand spanking new medium tires. He's going to make complete mockery of the car he's going to pass. Oh boy, we're really gonna have to make sure we are consistent now, because now we are not just fighting Max Verstappen, we are fighting Charles Leclerc as well. And as you guys see, he comes out alongside Pierre Gasly as we go down the second straight into T4. Charles Leclerc on the inside with brand spanking new tyres. Pierre Gasly on the outside. It's a small lockup from Leclerc, nothing too bad, and he gets the job done. Now guys, it's only going to be a Charles Leclerc overtaking montage at this stage. He goes for the move on Daniel Ricciardo. He gets past Daniel before they even get to the DRS zone, and he is now chasing down the racing point of Sergio Perez. Guys, look at the speed of this Ferrari. Look at it. Oh my word. Charles Leclerc has eaten something monstrous for breakfast because he is making an absolute mockery of the rest of the field. Guys, this is the pass on Max Verstappen. Look at that. There's just no way that Max can fight. So the next car on Charles Leclerc's hit list is myself. So, oh boy. Oh my word. Guys, still the two Mercedes are fighting hammer and tong to see who is going to get the win at this Grand Prix. Valtteri goes once again for the move on his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Up the inside of T1 to have the inside for T3. They go around the sweeping left-hander, and Valtteri once again takes the position away from Lewis. But Lewis is not going to have any of that. He's got DRS for the second part of the straight, but to no avail. He's going to have to stick behind Valtteri until we get to this part of the track, the very end of the next lap. Now guys, you guys can see Charles Leclerc has already caught up to the back of me. It's Ferrari engine v Ferrari engine. Rich Energy Haas Racing versus Scuderia Ferrari. And now I am under pressure for a big amount, guys. I haven't been under this amount of pressure for a fair while. We are going into T4. I've got the inside line. I'm going to have to make sure I give Charles the squeeze. I do give him the squeeze. Charles backs out of the move before I can actually give him the squeeze. Onto the very next lap, guys. Charles Leclerc is still got his Ferrari's front wing tucked up right under my gearbox. He opens up the rear wing, and now I go immediately jolt to the inside, as you guys see there. He goes for the move around the outside, but I know Charles likes to move around the outside. He has a little bit of a lockup, and we can once again defend the position. Guys, Charles likes to move around the outside, but I know on the inside I'm going to be able to get the grip down because I've got the medium tires just like Charles. Even though they are worn more, I can still get the grip down. And guys, once again, it is Bottas v Hamilton. Hamilton wants to take back the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Heading up the hill into T1, Hamilton gets the move done before we even get to T1. But can Valtteri do anything to Lewis as we go down the second straight, which is also DRS, a DRS detection zone? I don't think he can. Lewis has got a great run coming out of T3. Valtteri opens the rear wing. It's going to be very close heading into T4. Valtteri goes to the outside. He's late onto the brakes. They are side by side heading into the corner. Valtteri gets the drive on the outside. It's very close, but Valtteri defeats P1. Brilliant racing from the two Mercedes drivers. Once again, heading on to the main straight, it is Valtteri Bottas leading the way from Lewis Hamilton. I think Lewis would have wanted the championship scenario to be swapped between himself and Valtteri. But in any case, guys, this is the final lap of the Grand Prix that we have just started. Lewis Hamilton v Valtteri Bottas. Vettel is in no man's land in third place, and then for P4 it is myself v Charles Leclerc going around the third quarter side by side. These two Mercedes drivers are not giving each other an inch. Will it be Lewis? Will it be Valtteri? Heading into T4, Valtteri's got the inside, but Lewis has got the grip here outside line. Going through the next left-hander side by side, he pushes Valtteri all the way onto the AstroTurf, but Hamilton gets the move done. And guys, as you guys see, we head onto the final part of the final lap, heading onto the final straight. And now it is Valtteri Bottas. I don't think he's close enough to Lewis, guys. Lewis made his fresher tires work a treat this final lap as they head through the second sector. And Lewis Hamilton is going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix from his teammate Valtteri Bottas in P2. He stole that one, but no, he didn't steal. That was an excellent fight between the two Mercedes drivers. That was an absolutely excellent fight. But guys, this is what we have to be concerned about. Myself, Charles Leclerc, I have to get a perfect exit out of this final corner. Otherwise, I've got big problems. And guys, Charles's grip is just so much better than mine. Guys, all the ERS I've got left, all the fuel I've got left, we got to use. We hug the inside of the track. Charles has got DRS. He's coming for me. The proximity arrow is a red. Well, there it goes, red. Who got it? Who got it?
Well done, good finish.
Oh my word.
Good job.
Guys, look at how close this was. That is at approximately 320 kilometers an hour.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the drivers' championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, my driver of the day has to be Charles Leclerc. He was unstoppable out on the track today, weaving through the competition with ease.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Devon did much better in today's race than he did in qualifying. Were you expecting that? Great. Well, that's everything.
What an absolutely fantastic and chaotic Brazilian Grand Prix, guys. Mercedes fighting as if they are not teammates, as if they are bitter rivals. Myself and Max Verstappen the entire race, me having a good strategy, Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly bolting from the back, and even Charles Leclerc almost stealing a 4th place from me on the line. You don't get any better than that. Oh my soul, what a video. Guys, please, I have to have earned your like at least down below. Oh my soul, absolute chaos. But guys, that has been this episode. Thank you so much for watching. We are heading to the finale in Abu Dhabi, so please stay tuned. Hit the subscribe to have all your F1 2019 and Dirt 4 needs met, and I'll see y'all next time in Abu Dhabi. Ciao!